Start with you. That's okay.
Um, you were recently on Joe Rogan, and one of the big comments in the comment section was, wouldn't it be great if Joe Rogan hosted a debate between you and the other progressive candidates, Sanders and Warren and Yang? And I think that would be amazing. Are there any rules that keep you from doing that? I know the DNC doesn't really allow debates, but could you have a joint interview or something of that nature?
First of all, I love that you are a Joe Rogan fan. Thank you. I think it would be a great idea, and I think it would be an amazing and interesting and very real conversation. Unfortunately, the DNC does have rules that would prohibit that sort of thing. And the punishment, if you break those rules, is they don't allow you to play in their debates ever again. Well, for this election. We can appear at joint events so long as none of us share the same stage at the same time. So that's where you see sometimes there are different forums that they'll have multiple candidates showing up at, but none of us are actually on that same stage at the same time. But this is one of the problems, I think. And this was a rule that was implemented when I was vice chair of the DNC back in 2016 that I both privately first and later publicly strongly disagreed with. Because not only at that time were they limiting the number of debates, but they introduced this new thing, and I forget what the fancy name for it is, but basically where you're punishing candidates for being involved with conversations that will better help inform and engage more people to actually come out and vote. That to me is counter to and undermines the interest of having an informed and engaged, thriving democracy. I don't, I think what they would say is that they're trying to make sure this is a controlled and orderly process. But the problem is, you instead you've got the DNC that partners with corporate media to host these debates that give us as candidates maybe 60, 75 seconds if they're generous to answer certain questions. Where even in the last debate, we were promised, hey, everybody's gonna get an equal amount of time, an equal amount of questions. That clearly did not happen. It hasn't happened yet in any of these debates. And it ends up being more of a political reality TV show than a real conversation that you, viewers, people who are looking to say, hey, I need to know more information on each of these candidates before I make my decision. And I hear from a lot of people really frustrated and who are just changing the channel because they're not getting that kind of information at all, actually. And I think you've seen that. There's been, I think the first debate had something like 22 million viewers, and this last one had, I think, just over 6 million. So people are looking to other outlets like to get more